left port, Captain Rosen said. I know there wasn't sufficient time for training, but I don't have time for this. If it happens again, I will hold you personally accountable. Is that understood? Perfectly, ma'am. Good. Please go. The captain pulled a pile of papers from a drawer behind her. As Holland stood, she glanced up again. Her voice came out even harder than before. If you try sneaking off tonight, Deckman, or any other time the sub shrouds, there could be far more dire consequences than this. Think long and hard about that before you give Chief Sea Officer Blackwood the slip again. Yes, ma'am. I understand that, ma'am. Holland's voice came out as cool and collected as ever, if a bit on the high side. Blackwood sighed. Holland hadn't even been on her roster. It had originally been some fellow named Jeremiah Magnus, but Magnus hadn't shown up the morning of the mission, so Holland had been sent running from the academy practically as the gangway was rising. Blackwood was just glad to have gotten a replacement for her 5th torpedo mate in time. A body-fighting Dhavnak was a body-fighting Dhavnak, even if he was undertrained, even if he was skittish as a weirbat in the daylight, even if he was always awake when Blackwood left the compartment for the half-light watch, eyes staring into the bunk above as his lips moved in some silent comfort to himself. Blackwood led Holland from the stateroom in silence. As they passed through the mess, she grabbed a mug of nettlebark tea and sprinkled some sugar in it. She blew on it on her way through the crew's quarters, squeezing past all the sailors who were climbing out of their bunks and zipping up brown checkered coveralls for the day. In the solar power room beyond, the generators were running strong, as cells just below the ocean waves absorbed as much sunlight as possible without reflecting the glare up toward potential Dhavnak spy planes. Technicians hurried around them, adjusting and distributing the energy throughout the boat in preparation for the upcoming dive. It reminded Blackwood of how much work still had to be done in her own compartment. She swallowed a mouthful of tea, grateful for the slightly sweetened but still acerbic taste of nettle to jolt her brain awake. She wouldn't be getting so much as a half shift of sleep today, and she was already running on little more than naps as it was. When Blackwood and Holland reached the maneuvering room, she took the young man by the elbow and guided him to the other side of the propulsion controls, away from the sailors fixing a pipe valve at the fore. Holland squared his shoulders and met her eyes calmly. Listen, Deckman Holland, said Blackwood. Captain Rosen is right. This behavior has to stop. The only reason you haven't been called up on charges by now is because the captain doesn't know about the last 2 times you showed up somewhere you shouldn't have been. Next time you need to have a panic attack or a breakdown or whatever it is you do it in your own bunk. Holland glanced toward the hatch leading to the aft torpedo room, his eyebrows creased. Blackwood snapped her fingers in irritation, bringing Holland's gaze back to her. Don't worry what your crew members think, she said. If you're the guy who can't listen to orders, or the guy who isn't there when we need him, that's worse. Those are serious offenses, Holland. Do you have any idea what people will think if you keep turning up in random corners of the boat? No, ma'am. They'll think you're a Davy spy. The kid's face went white. But just stop hiding and stay where you're supposed to. This is life and death we're talking about. Holland nodded, swallowing. Yes, ma'am. Blackwood started to turn away, but paused. They'd been losing sailors to the war so fast that the whole boat had gone through 3 batches of new recruits over the last month, each one more raw than the one before. But the aft torpedo crew had been lucky, and Holland was the first one she'd personally trained, a replacement for Krista Thickery, whom they'd lost to that last devastating shrouding accident. The accident that Holland had undoubtedly heard about by now. Every other department head was probably going through this same thing. She sighed and turned back to him. Look, she said, I know the idea of shrouding...